preview. Let's hit on Andrade right fast. A lot of stuff going on with Andrade. So Andrade got released by WWE in mid-September, reportedly due to wellness violations, whether he didn't show up, whether he failed, regardless, wellness violations for Andrade. He showed up on AEW Dynamite on October 1st, which was not within 30 days of a non-compete, not within 90 days of a non-compete.
Within 3 weeks of him leaving WWE.
And then he hasn't been on television since then. And people are
hasn't even been mentioned.
People are like, where is Andrade? What's going on with Andrade? The Wrestling Observer and Brian Alvarez reported that it has something to do with his non-compete clause and that WWE sent a letter to AEW about the non-compete, and reportedly he had a non-compete when maybe people in WWE didn't know he had a non-compete. This is a new report from PW Insider, who says, we are told that after he began making appearances in Mexico and the United States, WWE clarified to Andrade, and even though he was not going to get the traditional 90 days pay following his release, Andrade was still subject to the 90-day period where he could not perform elsewhere. As one WWE source explained today, the company was not going to have a system in place where someone could theoretically leave the company due to violating their policies and then walk off to end up elsewhere the next day. It was described to PW Insider that would be a loophole the company could not allow to exist. So, according to this report, that because he was cut due to the wellness policy, he was not going to be paid for his 90 days, but he was still subject to the 90 days where he could not appear elsewhere. He showed up not only on AEW, but he was announced for shows in Mexico. He won the Crash Championship a couple days after showing up in AEW. He's been pulled from a couple of events.
He can't defend it for 3 months.
What is this? What are we doing here? Yeah, how is this legal? Like, wait a second. You can't work anywhere for 90 days, but we're not going to pay you for these 90 days.
Yeah.
I would tell them.
That doesn't make sense. Like, I see Kevin in the chat say this looking bad for AEW. No, you actually have that in reverse. It looks bad for WWE. Because, you have to assume that AEW did their due diligence, and what they had in writing with WWE and Andrade wasn't what was actually the case. And this is all this WWE doing their due diligence on the back end instead of on the front end, because there's no way that if Andrade was told you're under a 90-day non-compete clause and you're not going to get paid for it, is Andrade going to be quiet about it, first of all? Second of all, are you going to even allow them to even sniff around him? There's no chance AEW would have had him on TV if there was even an inkling that Andrade had a 90-day non-compete clause. There's no way that WWE would allow him to be on AEW television. And anyway, if they heard an inkling, if they heard even a rumor, they would have called him and let him know you're under a 90-day non-compete clause. It does not even sound right that you're under a 90-day non-compete clause without getting paid. But it's just, a lot of this is just very convoluted and confusing, and it's a lot of things going each way. It's a very messy situation. I think the only thing that's bad on AEW's part is that now they're a part of it when they could have been away from it.
So how much do we think that WWE just didn't believe he was going to go to AEW? And that is why they're like, yeah, you got a 90-day, we're not going to pay you, but you want to do these Mexico independent show, whatever. Like, we don't care if you want to show up for there. You want to make your money in that way. You want to do a House of Glory. You want to do conventions. Okay, cool. Like, we won't really say anything, even though you got this 90 days, but we're not too concerned about that if that's all you're going to do. And then the moment he shows up on AEW, then they're like, whoa, buddy. You got a 90-day non-compete. We're not paying you for it, but you got a 90-day non-compete. is I think there's some truth into that. I could 100% believe that WWE was like, yeah, 90 days, but we'll kind of sort of enforce it as long as you're just kind of doing Mexico independent shows or just other various independent shows. Like, we ain't concerned with that kind of stuff. But the moment you show up in AEW, then it's like, okay, now we are concerned with this 90
That sounds
days.
more like
Hey, that's my take on it, is they didn't care until they had a reason to care. And AEW and him showing up in AEW gave them a reason to care. Sean's already shot what I'm about to say down, not what I just said. That has not been reported on. That's just me spitballing tinfoil hat kind of brain out here. Sean's shot this part down. My favorite theory is Andrade knew he had this 90-day non-compete and still went to AEW and was like, fuck it, I don't care. Put me on television.
Do I have a 90-day non-compete clause?
No. Nope. Tony's like, he goes to AEW, he's like, hey, can I show up on TV? And Tony's like, do you got a 90-day non-compete? You got a 30-day non-compete? He's like, no, of course not. What are you talking about? I'm done.
With the promo he did to Darby back in like
how you know?
He's like, no, relax.
Relax. How you know? I got no 90-day compete. No. Tony's like, okay, sure. That's what we'll do then.
He's like, he basically did like the Jedi mind trick to Tony. These are not the drones that you're looking for.
This is not the non-compete you were looking for.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What were you saying? Oh, do I want to debut and face Kenny Omega? Yes, sir.
Sean's already shot that down. He said that's not what happened, but that's my favorite theory is Andrade was just like, no habla inglés on 90-day no compete. I don't know what that means.
Non-compete? What? I want to compete. No, Tony, I want to compete.
And Tony's like, do you have a non-compete? It's like, no, I want to wrestle. No, I want to.
I want to compete.
I want to be competitive. Tony's like, oh, okay. All right, sure. So I don't know if Andrade is going to be on television for the next 90 days or beyond that, if this was some type of broken agreement with everything. Tony's doing a media call at 3. I assume someone will ask him about it. It's very possible Tony says, well, this is a legal matter and I can't comment on it. I hope Tony is in a surly mood and is like, you know what? This fucking company sent us a letter saying we couldn't.
I ain't say a damn thing when they counter programmed. I didn't say nothing. But they want to ruin my big surprise on the 6th anniversary. I got something to say today.
They're not paying this guy for his 90 days. This isn't enforceable. We're going to take them to court over this. We are suing over this. That's what I hope we get out of Tony.
He's gonna hit him with the all-out 2022. I'm not just gonna sit here and take this shit.
That's what I hope we get. That's what I hope we get out of Tony. Instead, I expect, it's a legal matter. You know, we're still looking into things, and we're gonna handle it. And we hope to have Andrade back. And you know, Andrade is a big part of our television. It was a great surprise when we brought him back, and he's a big part of the Don Callis family. Like, okay, Tony. All right, we get it. But yeah, I need Tony to just go unhinged on them with this whole thing. The last time he really did that was when he was talking about like the WWE PR department, because they were doing like ratings, and it wasn't even like a question about ratings, but he's like, yeah, why did the WWE PR, why are they sticking their nose into my business and like leaking these stories about us? Like, that's none of their business. Like, you weren't even asked about this, Tony. And I think after that, people talked to Tony and were like, okay.
Yeah, they were like, we gotta put you in training.
Yeah.
Training. Like the 2024, like the first half of 2024 was like defined by that of like
So
responses to everything WWE would do or say about them. The Punk interview. Oh, we gotta release the video. Triple H talking crap about running away from the grind. Oh, we need Will Ospreay to clap back in a promo. Oh, the Punk Hawani interview. Oh, we need Edge to do the rah speech. Like it was too much. It got too much. So I respect AEW for putting his ass in media training.
I don't need that stuff on the television show. And I said as much at the time. Like, I don't need Will Ospreay talking about running from the grind on the TV show or Edge doing his speech on the TV show. But Tony in interviews, media,
that's fun.
Bring that shit on.
It's hilarious. Like PR training Tony is better for the company, but like non-PR training Tony is better for us as fans. It's just funny.
Yeah. That's what we need on the interviews and the media calls and stuff, because that's when we really get good stuff out of Tony. Now it's like anything you ask him, it's just like, oh, we're doing great. Everything's great. Tremendous. We had a great show. We got a great pay-per-view coming up. We always deliver on pay-per-view. Oh, I can't talk about that situation, but, it's going to be great. Chris Jericho coming back will be great. We look forward to having Britt Baker back. We look forward to settling this matter with Andrade and having him back on television. Everything's going to be great. It's like, just bury somebody, Tony. Just be like, yeah, fuck these people.
You know what? That guy? I don't like that guy. Fuck him.
They're out here releasing wrestlers when they're injured and not paying them. They're not renewing contracts when people are injured. They're releasing pregnant wrestlers. What is happening over there? They're going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. You wouldn't see that out of AEW. I'll tell
you right now. All In won't be in Riyadh.
That's the Tony Khan we need. It's just shooting on this company. But we probably won't get that, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
No.
But PR train Tony's not the best Tony. It's boring.
Unhinged, criminally online, criminally message board addicted Tony Khan. That's the best version of Tony Khan.
When he was doing those promos with the glasses on during the pandemic, that was so funny.
Oh man,
there's only one con man in wrestling.
That was the highlight of every episode of TNA Impact, and I dare someone to tell me otherwise. It was. It just was. That was the best time you would get. You would get Tony Schiavone acting all cocky too. You get Tony cutting promos. Kenny Omega would be showing up. Oh, it was good times. Good times.
That's the energy we need back.